All right, what's up, people? So I figured I don't even know if I'm gonna play anything right now, but so like if I go to I'm kind of disappointed in this, to be honest with you. Let's go. Where are we at? I'm kind of disappointed in this so far because what it's the four horsemen of the apocalypse, man. Come on now. And I know we don't have death yet, but it seems like you have to play them in sequence. If you won the turn, your war card wherever it is gains plus 50. If you won the turn, your famine card wherever it is gains plus 50. If you won the turn, your death card wherever it is gains plus 50. I don't know. I'm gonna have. They don't seem to. They all seem to cost 4, so I'm guessing death is gonna also cost 4, and I'm guessing it's gonna be 4 for 40 if it's going in sequence. But I don't fucking know. I don't know how. I'm just kind of disappointed in that. But let me tell you a story, and this is. I'm probably like I say. I'm not gonna. I tweaked leagues. What did I? No leagues. I got this. I put this guy in. So we'll see about how that works for me. I haven't played this exact iteration. I took somebody out and I put him in. A random card in your hand, and this is at the start of every turn. A random card in your hand gains plus 13 this round. You just don't want to play this guy, although he is 7 for 70. And it's a random card in your hand, so he can plus himself, which means he'll be 7 for 83. This shit is what it is, right? And we got to figure out how that works. But what I wanted to talk about is the gaslighting that's going on with this whole Joe Rogan litter boxes phenomenon. And how everybody's fucking trying to say, well, he fell for a fucking hoax and this, that, and the third. I'm not exactly sure it is a hoax, although I haven't seen proof of it yet. However, buried, or not even so subtly buried, within the whole fucking gaslighting, what they're doing is that they're admitting that there are children that identify as cats and dogs. They're admitting that part. They're just saying we don't give them litter boxes in the bathrooms. So, I mean, okay. You don't give litter boxes. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen the proof yet. So, I know when Joe Rogan says he knows somebody personally that is a teacher in the school that told him personally that it's happening, I kind of tend to take Joe Rogan at his word, unless he was being hyperbolic. But I'll wait until I see the proof. But if you look at all these so-called fact checkers, all of them, to a man, admit that there are children that identify as cats and dogs, almost as if it's not a thing. Almost as if, okay, yeah, there are kids that identify as cats and dogs, and it's another one of them genders. It's cat gender. There's TikTok videos on that shit. Are you? Haven't played Test in a while. There's gonna be some decks I gotta fucking take care of and get rid of. This was an interesting one. Same with this. We're getting close to the end of this week's leagues. Has been kind of, I don't know. I won't say weird. This is a weird deck. This is definitely a weird deck. But why do you think they're so focused on debunking the claim of litter boxes, while at the same time admitting that there are children, called furries, by the way, that identify as animals? This is not identify. I'm a boy, I identify as a girl. I'm a girl, I identify as a boy. These are human beings that identify as animals. And we're supposed to gloss over that part because it's not true that they're putting litter boxes in bathrooms. You see how they do it. You see how they play the game. Oh my fucking God, dude. Somebody's gonna have to fucking... Wait, I didn't fucking do that. I'm not trying to do that. Somebody's gonna have to... Somebody's gonna have to pay the price, man. At least that's the way I see it. I don't see any other way out of this other than somebody pays the price for this nonsense that's going on. We're allowing, and I did see a video, by the way, on TikTok. Not that I'm on TikTok, but somebody shared it in a YouTube video where it was a teacher that basically, she either got suspended or fired because one of her students was one of these furry type fuckers that had to be addressed with a meow. Like, if you didn't say meow to that person, then you were in trouble. And the teacher got in trouble because she was like, you got to stop this. This is nonsense. And she got ratted on and fucking like suspended or some shit. I don't fucking know. At a certain point, it's like, what are we really doing here? Whose agenda is this? I mean, it's the transgender for sure, but trans what? Now we're trans species? At a certain point, we're going to be... At a certain point, we're going to be kind of... I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for here? Minor attracted persons is going to be... It's going to be A-okay, bro. This is going to be fucking A-okay, man. Maps. And if you criticize them, they're already fucking doing the thing where they're going to try to take your... Did you see this shit with fucking PayPal? Which I don't have one, but they're doing it with banks too. Where they're just going to take your money. We're going to social credit scores. We're going to a lot of goofball shit, man. Because we're not following their agenda. And where does that agenda ultimately lead? You know what I'm saying? It's a dark place to be in, because once you see what their agenda really is, once you get to the bottom of it, once you go back to the sources of it, like I say, like a Gail Rubin or a John Money or the people like this, what their real agenda is with this, you know, critical queer theory and all this bullshit. And then you look at Black Lives Matter and the thing they had to scrub off of their website. And then it turned out they were all a fraud. And Black Lives Matter really, BLM really stood for, you know, build large mansions or buy large mansions or burn, loot, and murder. They were never about the cause of black people in this country. They never were. And smart black people figured it out day one, but it wasn't never about smart black people. It wasn't even about black people at all. It was about fucking, you know, white guilt. Milking white guilt. For what is somewhat of a pseudo-communist agenda, even though it goes deeper than communism. It's a Marxist, postmodernist. I remember I got into, and this is a sidebar, but it's just a fun conversation to have. I remember one day, back on the 600 Club, I got into a big argument with Michael Aquino. You know, rest his soul or whatever the fuck. Rest in power, bro. One of my best adversaries ever. We got into it over a lot of shit. But he was critical over my use of the word postmodern in the title of my book. And he was like, don't you know what that means? And I'm like, I know what it means, but I'm not using it that way. You know what I mean? I give terms my own meaning. That's kind of the point. But it was a lengthy fucking like back and forth with a fucking genuine PhD. I miss conversations like that. You know what I mean? To be able to talk to somebody that's a genuine fucking philosophical doctor. And have back and forth on why I chose certain words and why he thought that might be detrimental to the points that I were pushing and shit like that. But yeah, postmodernism as a school of philosophy in and of itself is very weird. And it is very harmful. I totally agree, but you know. Oh shit, look at that. Drag to unlock. I haven't played this one in a while. Used to be one of my strongest decks, but I'm not entirely sure that... Wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see why I put that in there. Because it's all arts and culture and history. Yeah, I haven't played that one in a while. I should probably play that one. Once I get to the next level of leagues, and first round you can play around. But seriously, what the fuck are we doing? We're gaslighting people with this whole concept of, there are no litter boxes for our students that identify as furries, that identify as cats and dogs. Perhaps you should put those people in some kind of counseling because they're human beings, okay? And then you should fucking have a serious talk with their parents. But wait, you can't because they're doing this behind their parents' backs. This is what, and I hate to say it because I'm sitting here on my phone right now making this fucking video. But this is what phones do to you, man. It rots your fucking brain. Don't nobody read books no more, man. Do you read books? I mean, don't ask me. I've read all the books I need to read. Shit, I gotta reread books at this point. At this point, it's not about reading books. It's about rereading books. I mean, but these kids these days, I don't even think they read books at all. They're goofy as shit. All they read is their screens. And if they do read a book, it's probably something promoting the transgender. Which, I've seen a couple of fucking... Yeah, this might go about 15 minutes. I've seen a couple of cases coming out of England, a.k.a. Great Britain. Maybe even one out of fucking Canada. Where people are literally getting, fired for following the law. I was watching one yesterday. Not watching, I listen to podcasts when I'm at work, Zone out, while I'm fucking doing the heavy lifting and all that bullshit. Just zone out and fucking gain some knowledge. And it's you have this fucking... He was actually, I think he was a professor at college, so it wasn't underage people or anything like that. And somebody came to him all of a sudden saying that they wanted to be referred to by certain pronouns. But according to the rules of the college, whenever you exhibit erratic behavior like that, you're supposed to be referred to a specific council or something like that, a group that makes a decision. And then he went to them and said, well, because by their rules, they're supposed to notify the parents of that fucking behavior. And they said, well, no, we're not, because the transgender is different. If it was anorexia or some other body dysmorphia, yeah, the parents would be involved. But when it comes to the transgender, and notice I say transgender, I don't go the hard R. You feel me? Because it's an agenda. And the deepness behind this agenda and the sickness behind it and the gaslighting behind it and the fact that now they're fucking trying to hide behind the fact that they say they don't have fucking litter boxes in schools. But who the fuck knows? And if one turns up, they're going to say it's a hoax. Even though Jesse Smollett still, pretends he's innocent. What is a hoax and what is reality? We're being gaslit all the fucking time. And that's the fucking part that really gets you, is when you don't know you're even fucking you're being told, your lying eyes are deceiving you. But I think I'm going to leave that. Well, I got 20 seconds. What the fuck? Did I see anything cool today? No, not yet. But I am off tonight, so say a prayer to Lord Jesus for me. And, the Virgin Mother and all that bullshit, all that Catholic shit.